everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Now, I think I'm in the mood to look at one of my favorite Christmas specials, and what better place to look than the Legendary Rankin Bass Productions. Whenever someone says what their favorite Rankin Bass holiday special is, their answer would mostly be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Little Drummer Boy, The Year Without a Santa Claus, etc. However, today, I would like to look into a very, very special Rankin Bass Christmas special about a big-hearted snowman who came to life one day. So, airing on television on December 7th, 1969, the special is Frosty the Snowman. Now, let's get started. A discarded silk top hat becomes the focus of a struggle between a washed-up stage magician and a group of school children after it magically brings a snowman named Frosty to life. Realizing that newly living Frosty will melt unless he takes refuge in a colder climate, Frosty, along with a young girl named Karen and a rabbit named Hocus Pocus, stow away on a freight train heading to the North Pole. Little do they know that the selfish magician is following them and he wants his hat back, even if it means melting Frosty. So, what are my thoughts on the special? Well, I loved it ever since my early childhood, and I still love it to this very day. And to further explain why I love the special, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass wanted to give the show and its characters the look of a Christmas card, so Paul Choker Jr., a greeting card and magazine artist, was hired to do the character and background drawings. The animation was produced by Mushi Production in Tokyo, Japan, with Hanna-Barbera staffer Yusaku Steve Nakagawa and then Mushi staffer Osamu Dezaki among the animation staff. Jimmy Durante was one of the first people to record the song when it was released in 1950. Rankin Bass veteran writer Romeo Mueller adapted and expanded the story for television, as he had done with the Animagic stop-motion production of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Plus, TV Guide ranked the special number 9 on its top 10 best family holiday specials list. Also to note, after the special, Rankin Bass made 2 Frosty holiday specials, one being Frosty's Winter Wonderland, where we were introduced to his wife Crystal, and Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, which I already blogged during Independence Day of 2021. Now, what are my thoughts on the animation? Well, in my opinion, the hand-drawn animation looks very unique compared to most of the other holiday specials that Rankin Bass produced, due to it being one of the few that's not in stop motion. Plus, I agree that the animation feels like it came right out of a Christmas card. One of my favorite scenes in the special is where the traffic cop accidentally swallows his whistle after learning that Frosty just came to life and doesn't know much. Also, that scene at the train ticket booth was pretty zany, but a little bit mean-spirited. Also, I kind of get the feeling that it influenced a scene that would later be seen in Don Bluth's Anastasia, but that's just my opinion. Also, I thought the scene where Frosty melted was really heartbreaking. And now let's talk about the special's title song, Frosty the Snowman. Now, for those who have not seen my top 10 all-time favorite Christmas songs video from last year, in my eyes, even though it's sung about several times throughout the special, I still think Frosty's theme song is a classic Christmas song, and I think Jimmy Durante does a wonderful job singing. And I also think he makes a great narrator too. And that's basically all I got for Mustang notes, so let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought him to life. Frosty the Snowman is voiced by Jackie Vernon. To me, Frosty is one of the most classical Christmas characters in the Rankin Bass library. Throughout the special, Frosty is determined to reach the North Pole before he melts. Plus, as I said before, Frosty's personality is kind of like Winnie the Pooh, small on brains, but big on heart. Plus, I think Frosty is very caring, especially during the parts where Karen is freezing. Makes me glad I'm immune to the cold ever since 2013. Also, I think Frosty is a fantastic belly whopper. Next we have Karen, whom was originally voiced by June Foray in the original airing, but in later airings, she was voiced by Suzanne Davidson. Karen is a little girl who befriends Frosty after he came to life. Plus, she's the one who gave Frosty his name while she and her friends were building him. In my opinion, Karen sticks out the most out of all the children, and I like that she joins Frosty on his journey to the North Pole. Plus, ever since my early childhood, she kind of reminds me of my aunt, who's also named Karen. Plus, I'm not sure if she's seen Frosty's special on TV, but if my math estimation is correct, Aunt Karen must have been at least 6 years old when this special first aired. Next up, we have Hocus Pocus, Professor Hinkle's rabbit, whose vocals are provided by Paul Frees. In my eyes, Hocus is a smart rabbit, and I think he has some of the funniest gags in the entire special, like when he switches the hat with a wreath before bringing it back to Frosty. And I think he's very creative when it comes to charades. Also, I like the part where Hocus asks the forest animals to build a fire to keep Karen warm. Next we come to the main antagonist, Professor Hinkle, voiced by Billy DeWolf. In my eyes, Hinkle is just the worst magician in the entire world, as shown when his equipment falls and his tricks go awry. Plus, I think he's very selfish, for after seeing his hat as magical, Hinkle hopes to use it to become a millionaire. Later, after Hocus Pocus escapes with said hat, Hinkle is determined to do anything to get it back, even if it means killing Frosty, or at least melting him. Also, I think his nastiest moments is when he locks Karen and Frosty inside a greenhouse and when he ruins Karen's campfire. However, before all that, I thought his funniest moment was when he falls down a snowy slope and crashes into a tree after jumping off the train. Last but not least, we come to the man in red himself, Santa Claus, also voiced by Paul Frees. Like in most Christmas specials, Santa is a kind and generous man, and I thought the scene where Santa comforts Karen after Frosty melts was very touching. Also, I thought it was pretty interesting when Santa explains that Frosty was made from Christmas snow and can only be restored by a magical December wind. Plus, I like the part where Santa threatens to have Professor Hinkle permanently on his naughty list unless Hinkle can prove that he's sorry for harming Frosty and Karen by writing 100 zillion sentences. Good old Santa Claus. Nothing gets past him, huh? And now let's move on my final words. Overall, Frosty the Snowman is truly one of Rankin Bass's most classical Christmas specials. The animation, while unique, is classical. The story is fun, touching, and timeless. Frosty is a big-hearted snowman. Karen is such a sweet little girl. Hocus Pocus is a smart and funny rabbit. And Professor Hinkle, while selfish, is a complete laughingstock of a villain and a joke of a magician. Plus, the voice acting, in my opinion, is spectacular, and Frosty's theme song is a Christmas classic. And I'm really happy to hear this song several times on the radio during the holiday season. For those who have not seen this special yet, this is definitely a Christmas special you must share with your friends, family, and children. As for my rating, I give Frosty the Snowman a full 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me next time where we return to Meridero to look at a Netflix Christmas special starring Spirit and the Pals. Mustang Power.